इस भारत का मान बढ़ाएं। आओ हम सब हाथ बढ़ाएं, इस भारत का मान बढ़ाएं, इस भारत का मान बढ़ाएं। वैज्ञानिक औद्योगिक अनुसंधान करते हैं, इस देश का
Dr. Virendra M. Tiwari, Chief Guest Padma Shri Vinod K. Singh, Research Advisory Boards for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp. We are indeed privileged to be in the presence of such illustrious dignitary today. I would now like to extend our warmest welcome by requesting Director CSI East to felicitate today's honorable chief guest, So these are some of the products developed by our CSI East. And these are the indigenous products of Assam. And inspiring for us. I now invite Director CSI East to deliver the welcome address for today's program.
Our retirees, students and friends. At outset, I convey my warmest greetings to all of you on 83rd CSIR Foundation Day. You might have witnessed the function online, which was commenced at New Delhi on 26 September, commemorating the achievements, accomplishment, and it's all the endeavor of bringing science and technology in the country up front. In this, with the similar spirit, all the CSIR laboratories are celebrating the CSIR Foundation Day, and we amongst the easternmost sister of the CSIR laboratories in India today celebrate the CSIR Foundation Day with the open day. All the laboratories are open for every visitor, and having a CSIR Foundation Day lecture by an eminent scientist, Professor V.K. Singh, who is associated with CSIR in a different capacity from very early stage of his scientific career. Now he is chair of research, recruitment, RAP, recruitment and promotion board, assessment, and most importantly, he had been in a different capacity of advisory role at different laboratories, have been playing very prominently for the progress of CSIR. We have fortune today to host him at CSIR NIST, a lab which is identified as one of the laboratories in the chemical science cluster and having a very eminent, a well-known, eminent synthetic chemist with us today is really privilege and honor, sir. Professor Sikh also symbolizes several things which uh, are inspiring for the people who are working here. His primary studies is from a rural background, from a small village, and through that background, having his bachelor degree at Banaras Hindu University, where Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, the founder of the CSAR, was faculty. He has demonstrated that how even the student from a very small place can rise to the highest level of the scientific intervention, scientific research and scientific administration. You all may be aware that Government of India in 2014 bestowed with Padma Shri upon him, and in science the highest scientific award, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, had been earlier coordinated by CSAR, was awarded to him on his very, very important contributions in synthetic chemistry. More important amongst all that he remained mentor of young to the senior researchers. Whoever had any difficulty, he always come forward for the genuine cause and help in the same way he has accepted the responsibility of chairing research and assessment board of CSAR. You all are aware that we had very difficult time very recently, which we will be coming out very soon with all the problems getting sorted out, and a person who had been always advising us that don't lose your heart, you will be able to come out if you have not done anything wrong. That kind of support, that kind of the advices, not only this institute but all over the country, and sometimes our the Indian colleagues settled abroad also get privilege of having his knowledge and wisdom for their betterment in science and their betterment in their own personal life. And because of all this, he had always been very sought for his lectures, his visits at the different places, and we have been very fortunate enough, though we had requested almost 5 months back, he could kindly agree to visit CSAR NIST to convey his experiences, his the journey of scientific research, and how the science can be beneficial to all of us within the Northeast region and beyond. With this, I would like to welcome our today's chief guest, Professor V.K. Singh ji, to CSAR NIST, and all my colleagues, those who had earlier been erstwhile working at CSAR NIST, retirees. I am also thankful to them and welcoming all of you to be with us while we celebrate CSAR Foundation Day at CSAR Nest. It's always a pleasure of seeing the younger students and colleagues gathered at one place, and today's day when we are celebrating CSAR Foundation Day, we all are very excited, delighted and happy for knowing the achievement of CSAR, knowing the achievement of CSAR Nest, which had been over 62 years, in fact 63 years, made a big difference in Northeast, producing thousands of PhD students who are working in the different parts of the world. They are the ambassador of CSAR Nest, and they are contributing in their different ways for the progress and growth of the science, as well as how the science can be utilized for the socio-economic benefit of India and other places. So it's very fortunate day for all of us. It's very important, and also it's a very exciting day after little lull a few weeks, and I welcome all of you for this special day of CSAR and CSAR
Foundation Day. We are very fortunate to have with us today a very special guest, who is already our director has sent, say his contribution to the chemistry and science. He is a very eminent and distinguished chemist of our country. It is my great honor to introduce that Professor Binod K. Singh is currently the Institute Chair Professor of Chemistry, IIT Kanpur, who was very instrumental in establishment of the IIT Bhopal and has received the Padma Shri, the highest civilian award of our country. I also must say that the presence of Professor Singh will certainly be inspirational to many of us, the students and the research community of the institute. It is a great honor to have or to introduce one of such most distinguished figure in this field. I have read his Wikipedia page. I was amazed with and got inspirational by reading his biodata. I will just, in brief, I will say, because of the time, has several awards, including the SSB Bhatnagar Prize in 2004, and he is also the fellow of all the three academies of India and also the World Academy of Sciences. And currently, sir is the editor of Titan Letters and also the editorial board member of several American Chemical Society and Elsevier journals, including the JOC, Journal of Organic Chemistry. And also, he has made a significant contribution in the institutional building of higher education institute in our country, and in making the education science policy and planning. Actually, sir was director IIT Bhopal, founding director for 10 years, and then he was also the mentor director of School of Planning and Architecture, NITTR Bhopal, and also the Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology. Many institutes he was a mentor, and he was also the Scientific Advisory Council of the Prime Minister of India. And yes, Professor Singh got several awards, including the, list is long. It's available in the Wikimedia page, but I think the Vigyan Ratna Award of UP and Rajiv Goel Prize. So I think, sir, we are very truly grateful to you to have you with us today, and we look forward your insightful lecture on this Foundation Day. Thank you.
On this 83rd CSAR Foundation Day, it's a special day, so I convey my greetings to all the people of this institute. Uh, when you talk about Foundation Day of any system, it is just like your birthday. You rest assured, I will not talk much, but kind of stress on the general aspects which are very useful, important, and also you are facing day to day. It gets into for the future leadership. And I assure you, whatever I am going to mention here, I had been practicing right from my PhD days. When you teach, do research, you deal with students, scientists and staff. How you deal with your student, how you deal with your co-workers, that is very, very important. I have seen in interview board, there are people, the way they ask question, you should have empathy. That is very, very important. Then the second kind of academic leadership deal with management. When I say management, you join as a scientist or assistant professor, then you become head of the department, head of the division, dean. So that is called management issue. How do you manage things? You are head of the one division in CSIR lab. Several senior people are reporting to you. One has to be very careful in using sentences in a professional way. When you are having a good time, that's a different thing. But when you are in a professional meeting, professional place, everything is important what you utter to your young colleague. And I believe one should be very, very sensitive to it. One should understand how to deal with young people. Then the third thing in administration, after several years of experience, when you are head, dean and all that, or some experience, you try to become director, vice chancellor. So what you do, you deal with everything. You deal with people, you deal with head of the division, you deal with administrative officer, and the most critical part is you deal with the finance person. So one should know how to deal with those people. So right from early days, from PhD students, young faculty to mid-level faculty and the senior level in administration, the leadership aspects are very, very important. And that is why I thought that I'll connect with all the levels of the people who are going to become leaders. So there you will find some people are appreciated, some not. So what makes one a tall leader in academia? When I say leader in academia, it's not only true that only with administration, in the research also. Now when you talk about research, how do you become leader? It all depends what kind of research problem you take. My advisor, postdoc advisor of the Nobel laureate, he told me, just being intelligent is not enough. You can never achieve much only if you are intelligent. You've got to be creative. And just being intelligent and creative are not enough. One has to be hardworking. One should spend time. And now I realize he works more than 6.5 days. In a year he had been taking, he is 91 years old. Only 2 days Christmas vacation. Consults one company only 1 day, and 1 week he goes to Japan used to go, and this is all vacation leave he had been taking throughout his career. I know he's very intelligent, he's very creative, but that is not enough. One has to spend time. So, but he's a researcher, he's not in administration. Now in India things are different. There are people who say that I'm not able to get time because I'm doing this. Our primary duty is research. So by the age of 45, 48, 50, there is no excuse, one got to publish quality papers. So one is the research component. Now what kind of problem one should take when you become independent career? When you start your independent career? It should be intellectually challenging. That's one aspect. Or it should be relevant to the society and the system or the place you are in. It's very, very important. And I tell you, if one thinks like this, the person will definitely be successful in the field. So, leadership, the other aspects which I find it, when we become leader, we become regional. Whatever happens in our house, the way I eat, we believe everybody should eat the same way. The way I dress, I believe everybody should do that. If I am vegetarian, everybody should be vegetarian. What I am trying to say, we have to give freedom to the system. We have to be professional. And this word is very, very important. People hardly understand the meaning of professionalism. Professionalism is not national, it's international. You cannot do the way things done in Europe. You cannot do things the way done in Kanpur or Banaras. If you are in academia, you have to do things the way it is done in whole country, Japan, Europe, America, China, anywhere. In academia, professionalism is very, very important, I believe. So I'll take some of the points, and so some of the traits I like to focus. Respect of peer groups. You have done something, people talk about, I publish so many number of papers, but I'm not getting recognition, I'm not getting this. I'm not worried about award and all that. The peer group is the most important aspect. You are a MSc student, if all students like you, they are your peers. Different sections, other section people like you, it means you have done something good. You are a researcher, if people working in the same area, they have respect for your work, I think that is very, very important. That is the real recognition. Of course, in addition to that, there are so many other aspects, but the first aspect is the peer group. Now, this is true not only as a researcher, as an administrator also. You are a director of one institute, whether it is CSIR system or academic IITs, ISERT, NIT, or vice chancellors. If large number of people have liking for you, respect for you, and that is very, very important, that makes you a tall leader. The second thing is commitment and passion. It's very important. Okay? Now, two things are there, and in my opinion, work is the most important thing in life. We always say, work is a religion. We should never do anything at the cost of work. That could be personal or professional. Even attending a marriage function of your relative is not important if you have some important work in your institute. I go beyond a point. Commitment, of course, hard work, I don't have to explain. If director has given you some responsibility, there is a deadline time, you got to finish that. In case you are not able to do it, you should be honest and convey the right reason. No personal reason accepted in professional life. I can never say that my family is sick, something has happened, that's why I'm not able to do it. That is not acceptable. It's better to be quiet. So, most of the tall leaders, you'll see they have commitment and passion. Clarity in thought and presentation. You should have full clarity in your mind, anything you are doing, whether in research or administration. And presentation also is very important. Why I am saying, especially for the students, how you make your slides, whether it is clear, whether it is crowded, whether you are exceeding the time. Everything is important. So that is why I word the use clarity in thought and presentation, because large number of people are going to meet you for the first time. They are going to listen to your talk first time, whether you talk about policy or talk about research. Be very clear and crisp. Decision making ability. This is the most important aspect in research and administration both. Decision making, what kind of research problem you have to take. You are in Northeast, so you have to take a problem relevant to Northeast. And there is no question, it's a final decision. You have to take fast decision. Or you try to solve a problem which is intellectually challenging international level. In administration, signing on the file. How much time you take? You know, if I ask the question, what is the most precious thing in life? Not money, not family. Time. Time is the most precious thing. The time which is gone never comes back. So if somebody takes to decide about anything, longer time, they are burden on the country, because country's development depends if you take decision fast. Practical honesty and integrity. You must have noticed I have written practical honesty. 100% honest people actually cannot do anything. You have to have practical honesty. You have to understand what is honesty. If I have bought a pen from institute money, does it mean that I cannot write letter to my wife with the pen? If I have a phone which is an institute phone, can I call my wife if there is an emergency call? What I am trying to say, these are practical honesty. Okay. So, if your intentions are good and do things in the right way, without any personal benefit, I assure you, nothing will happen to you. And integrity is very, very important. People will know you what kind of person you are, whether you have high level integrity or low level integrity. Your peers will understand. The next point is sensitive to people. We have to be sensitive to people. I can make a rule for myself, but I cannot make a rule for my family, that my wife, my kids. They must have their opinion about things they want to do. That is in terms of dress, eating, living. Of course, certain things are joint decision. Okay, that is fine. But you have to sense what the person thinks. Situation. Situation is very, very important. Okay, we have to understand what situation we are in. Accordingly, we should speak, we should talk, we should behave. You want to cut jokes, there is a place to cut jokes. You go to party, you cut jokes, but when you are working, it's a serious matter. You are giving lecture, you can have jokes to make sure people don't sleep. So there is a place for cutting jokes, and time. Time is the most important thing. One should never be late. One should never take more time to speak. Whatever time given to you, you finish your talk. And that not only depends on the chairman, the speaker, the chairman of the session also is very important. What is job of a chairman? To make sure the speaker doesn't take more time than allotted. He or she has to do the job no matter who is the speaker. If each one of us do our bits, I tell you system will be in place. Professional principles, very, very important, which is too important is ethics and moral, which I described, and understanding of governance and management. These two things I'll elaborate a little bit more. So first I talk about professional principles. Of course there are various things, but ethics and moral is very, very important. Okay, and if you look at what is ethics, you all know, you don't have to read it. Rule of conduct made by the external system. Okay, you have published papers and things like that, so everywhere ethical attitude is very important. Ethics are governed by professional and legal guidelines. There are guidelines, okay, with a particular time and place. But morals, principles with right or wrong conduct. People, we always say he has a high moral ground, low moral ground, he doesn't have any moral. All kinds of things we talk about. Because we decide what is right, what is wrong. Basically, morality transcends cultural norms. These two I have taken from this link from internet. Okay. And we have to be very sensitive to ethics and morals. Okay. And if you look at other things, a lawyer knows that murder is reprehensible. वकील जब कचहरी में जाता है, he knows the murderer needs punishment. But ethics says that he has to defend it. He's right. You have seen in government also, I will not name it, if some lawyer is fighting for a case, he knows it is right or wrong. Okay? But he has to defend it because his duty, he has taken a case to defend it. Same thing, a doctor may not euthanize a patient. Ethics says we just not kill a patient just because he should not live, even if he believes in it. So these two things are very, very important and we should be very, very sensitive to it. Okay. I am an expert for the selection committee of my students. We have to be very careful about it. Last week a letter came to give view about Indian Academy of Sciences, and I saw that two of my students. I wrote about other candidates, but I refused to write about my students. So these are our personal integrity, and it is very, very important. The other thing, understanding of governance and management. This is extremely important in a leadership role in administration. For head of the department, for deans, for head of the division, and director, vice chancellor. Now, in administration, three things I believe, and I tell you because of these three things, large number of institutions had been decayed. Governance, leadership, and the management. What happens? We all know what is governance. It is the way rules, norms and actions are structured, sustained, regulated and held accountable. In other words, the process of decision making and the process by which decisions are implemented. Whatever rule is made in CSAR system, in your happy hour time you can discuss good or bad, but you have to follow it. Whatever rules are made, laws are made in parliament, we cannot say it right and wrong, we have to follow it. Okay. So, if you do the administration this way, nothing untoward is going to happen. Leadership, now if you look at literature and what is leader, people say too many things and big definitions. In my opinion, motivating the people to work in right direction is called leadership. If I am a leader, I should be able to motivate people to work in right direction. Now you decide what is right direction, what is not. And management, it is day-to-day decisions we make, routine decisions and administrative work, what we do in day-to-day life. Okay. And lot of people say it should be done in transparent manner. You hardly can do administration in transparent manner because we deal with people, deal with government, so little privacy is required. Everything you cannot tell people. So that is why I use the word translucent manner, I never use transparent manner. So if you look at all those things, whatever I described, are very, very important in administration and that takes people a long way. Now I'll just tell you the example.
So as we come to the conclusion of today's form, Mr. Rohit Chandra Bora, Mr. Chandan Saikia, Mr. Rajen Chandra Datta, Mr. Bipul Chandra Borua, Mr. Krishna Kanta Bora, Mr. Ananda Hoikia, yeah, I would request Marli sir to kindly come forward and take the memento and Honman Patra on behalf of SD1 sir. Mr. Pradeep Hazarika. Next, we would like to felicitate Mr. Jampao Lumkim Khongsai, COA. Next, Dr. Devojit Kumar Sharma, ASO. Next, Mrs. Minakshi Das, ASO. She's not there. Thank you, sirs. We now proceed to the initiatives. Now we move forward to an important milestone in today's program, the signing of MOU between CSIR NIST and Rabindranath Tagore University, Hojai. It is my privilege to introduce Professor Kaushik Chanda, Dean of Research and Development and Professor in the Department of Chemistry. Alongside him, we have Dr. Dhanamantri L. Singha.
Accepting our request and delivering today's foundational lecture. His vast expertise, knowledge and passion were truly evident throughout his presentation. Sir, your lecture has not only enriched us our understanding but also inspired us in many ways. I convey our heartiest congratulations and thank you to our director, Dr. Virendra and Tiwari sir also. Unwavering faith in us as always. College partner, the representative from Rabindranath Tagore University, Hojai, for joining us today on this development of science and technology. We are grateful and feel blessed by the presence of all our retired and deeply obliged by the presence of press and media personnel who play the most informative role in the society. I would like to acknowledge the invaluable support we have received from our esteemed members in the organizing team for their exceptional dedication, hard work in making this Foundation Day a successful one. We are ever grateful to the service providers for their untiring efforts, efficacy, which they rendered in a big way for the smooth running of this event. Last but not the least, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you gracing this occasion with your presence and making this celebration a bit more vibrant. Here is a special announcement. We are celebrating Ek Peड़ Maa Ke Naam. Under this campaign, we are distributing some plant saplings outside this auditorium. You can collect your saplings from here when you are leaving this auditorium. I also request all of you to join us for a cup of tea arranged outside this auditorium. Once again, thank you everyone. Jai Hind.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जल शुभ नामे जागे राधे तब जय दाता विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
What I have tried to talk about today, leadership in academia, because most of the academic institutions, they are governed by rules and regulations, and the person who is at the top is the leader, whether director, vice chancellor, scientist. So they must have some qualities how to run those institutions. That's what I tried to elaborate.